But the criticism does not end there. Some are even blasting the president for the way he's dealing with his own infection. One columnist even categorizes the president's behavior as, quote, toxic masculinity. Joining me now to discuss Director of Press Communications for the Trump campaign, Erin Perrine. Erin, all right. So what do you say to those who claim that the president's return to the White House and the way he's handled all of this is some form of dangerous machismo?
Well, yesterday, if anything, was a masterclass in Trump derangement syndrome by Democrats and members of the media. They really thought that the coronavirus was going to sideline the president, and through it all, as he battles the coronavirus, he has continued to lead America. Listen, the president didn't have a choice. He doesn't get to hide. Being president is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job, and you saw President Trump continue to fight for the American people as he fought through the coronavirus, as he has the entire time. Listen, the president has done the work that needs to be done to make sure that he can get through this, and you have seen the media go as far as talk about wanting to defund Walter Reed Medical Center, a premier military medical center in this country, for treating the president of the United States. It's unbelievable. President Trump took a whole of America approach to facing the coronavirus head on. That meant doing things like creating testing, PPE, ventilators, therapeutics, and a vaccine in record time, while Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the media are trying to be anti-vaxxers. It was unbelievable to see this, but in the face of it all, President Trump fights for the forgotten men and women of this country.
And then, of course, Mussolini, those kind of things invariably always come up. And I think one of the things that was interesting to me, that was confusing me, was that, when he was in the car with the secret agents and he had on a mask, I guess they had on masks, is the conflicting message. Do masks work or not? Because we know when we go out to work, when we go out, wherever we go, and we wear masks, we are going to come in contact with someone who has COVID-19. So either they work or they don't work.
Well, President Trump has been clear. CDC has been clear. The patriotic thing to do is wear a mask. If you're within 6 feet of an individual for more than 15 minutes, they absolutely recommend wearing a mask to limit the transmission of the coronavirus. Right. That's incredibly clear. And so you saw President Trump clear it with the medical team at the White House and his doctors to be able to take that car ride safely with the Secret Service agents who took additional precautions. President Trump says we cannot be afraid because we cannot be afraid. As a country, he is leading us through the coronavirus. Right. He is showing leadership through strength. You cannot be afraid. You cannot let this rule your lives. We have to continue as a country. And with President Trump at the helm, we have seen what that looks like. It means over 11 million jobs coming back on board in just a few months. It means that we are protecting jobs here in this country. We are on the right track with him.
Before I let you go, because I'm less than a minute now, is there a chance we'll hear from President Trump today?
I certainly don't have any announcements on that front. I believe there's an indication from the White House that we made, but we hear from the president every day. He's been tweeting up a storm. He put out videos yesterday. He talks to the American people every single day.
There's no doubt about it, but I think his fans especially will love to see and hear from him today after he's returned from the White House. Thank you so much. Always appreciate when you come on.
Thank you.